Hi, everybody. Bob here. We're talking about today the audiobook for the Red Panda and the Crime Cabal, recommended to me by a friend. Um, so this one's for you, buddy. Anyway, I I've been thinking about doing requests, but the request pile will have to wait. I got plenty of books to review right now. The Dresden Files, Book of Giants, and one about a cat. Um, so on with this book, though. Enough about upcoming stuff. Um, it kind of reminded me of the Green Hornet. Yeah. If Kato was a woman, which I know they did in the comics, I didn't read it. Not that it was bad. Just can't judge something you didn't read. You can you can say stuff about it, but there's no guarantee that it's gonna be true if you didn't read it. Um, I liked how the Red Panda's adventures took place in Toronto. It was very interesting, to say the least. And his whole world felt very lived in. It wouldn't surprise me if there was other books in this series. The the writer, which by the way narrated his audiobook and did a good job, left it wide open for the next one, but being I come from the generation that Catwoman crawling across the roof does not mean a sequel. Better example. Just because you put up with 12 seasons of Clark Kent as Superman doesn't mean you're actually going to get Superman. Yeah, just because they always hint. So, yeah, they definitely hinted that that the Red Panda's world could be something more. And they also hinted at other I wanted to say more powerful, but there's really no indication of that. But other heroes in here too, because they had his version of the Joker end up like in a time warp, which I could totally see happening in a regular comic book. That was very zany, very it fit in the world of this book. And that's another thing. If you don't like the Green Hornet, if you don't like 1930s pulp novels, well, I read the whole entire Tarzan, or rather, Mom read it to me. But what I'm trying to say is, if you don't like that feel of man saves woman, um, everybody's a hero, smackdown, drag out fights, you know, this world may not be for you. It very much felt like an old pulp serial novel. Every chapter. I only took this one chapter at a time. That's what took me so long. Every chapter felt like it could have a little cliffhanger at the end. I want I I expected it to be have the end at the end of the book, like Edgar Rice Burroughs did a couple times, where they're like the final chapter, but it didn't do that. That's another reason I think there might be a sequel. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Um, will it make you? Will it solve all your problems? Heck no. But it's a good book. It takes your mind off a few things. Um, the Red Panda is a definite, as a character, he is a definite contender for like the Shadow, and I really enjoyed that series back in the day. The Shadow was kind of where it was at. Yeah. Um, would you enjoy this if you read like Atlas Shrugged? Too different. But I'm glad I found out about it. There's zombies, there's voice manipulation, there's all kinds of things. So I guess overall, I give this book a, let's give it a 5.5. Yeah, 5.5. I say 5.5 because I wanted the Red Panda's sidekick to end up with Agent Parker, the cop that was chasing him down and pointing out that, hey, he was a vigilante. I want I wanted him to end up with the flying squirrel. It's kind of cool that he ended up being like Peter Boyle is in the Shadow movie. Peter Boyle is the guy that drives the taxi, the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond. That was kind of cool too, but I would have really liked to see Kit and his sidekick and Agent Parker end up together. But they didn't. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 5.5. Um, before I spill any more of the beans in this movie, I mean in this book, I said movie. What was I thinking? Um, I better say Bob out. Until next time, keep on reading. This has been the world according to Bob. That's the world in the way I see it. Yeah, y'all have a good